Okay, so because you still have that device, those devices in my car, and you're not allowing me a peaceful sleep like I deserve, as the queen that I am, as even the normal person that I am, as someone who has the right to peace in their car and their apartment that they're renting, since you're still attempting to torture me, both in my apartment and my car, I'm going to contemplate that video that just came out that reader said she's very, very scared you're going to come out with some secrets. So I got to surmising about this. I thought, what secrets? Because I don't know any secrets. I don't know any, well, I probably know a lot of secrets that I'm not aware that I know. But as I was contemplating it, now this is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is fact. This is all surmising and intuition, although intuition is considered fact in common law, but just saying. This is what has come to me. She didn't like that I talked about that there were bodies under that house. That lady in black. What's her? Esme. Because wouldn't that just be the perfect place to bury bodies that you know that they would pin on Esme, right? Because that's the whole reason that they call people conspiracy theorists, is to make them all fools or make people look bad that have a bunch of cats. It's a cat lady, they're automatically dismissed and glossed over, right? So if any bodies were found around that house, they would be dismissed as Esme's victims, even though she was a total sweetheart and took care of those sweet kids that came to her door looking for broth that day. Yeah? So, I'm thinking I had felt that there might be 8. You know how I said, I don't think this is that I'm the only person she's tried to kill. When I said that, I got the number 8. So I think she's killed 8 people. Now that, again, entertainment purposes only surmising. I think she's killed 8. And I think that 3 of those are cold cases where you guys actually consider the person missing and a mystery as to where they went. I bet they're under Esme's house. But here's another thing. I figured out, or I remembered, that the apartment manager here, the one they're wanting to fire, okay, she told me that the person downstairs was like the first to move in here. And I don't know if I don't think that would mean originally, because this place has been renovated. It was probably built in the 70s, it looks like. So I don't think she meant that. I think she meant like, after the renovation, okay? So I thought, why would she want to do something so dramatic as to blowing up this whole building? I know she hates me because she's so jealous. And that's the thing that really is so disappointing about this whole thing. It's all stemming from jealousy. Anyway, we're not even go there. Why would somebody want to burn down a whole building? Blow up a whole building? Yeah, she could take me out, or she thinks she could. She won't, because God's protecting me, and my cats. But what else would that do for somebody? Well, if there were bodies in the walls of said apartment, and then when I thought that, it occurred to me that some of those people might be wearing necklaces, metal, right? Because I thought, well, how would they find these bodies that were in the walls? She obviously is very good with construction. She's hammering all the time. It's possible she's broken down some walls and stuck some bodies in there to cover it up, right? It's possible. Again, this is not fact. This is nothing, right? But I bet if you were to take a metal detector to her walls, you might just find some jewelry around the people's necks that were her victims from before. And I wonder if there were people who lived in this very apartment that I'm in that somehow came up missing. She never gets moved out of here. The apartment manager covets her almost. Like, really, it's like she's like the star of this place, right? She's really bamboozled a lot of people. She really pretends to be very, very nice and sweet. Now, I saw right through it when she was that way with me. Especially with, oh, is she still hurting you? Well, I'll kick her out of here if she keeps that up. You know, oh yeah, she's really kicked her out of there. She's kicked herself out of there. Oh, yeah, okay. But just the way she could talk. She talked like the Wicked Witch from Snow White. The little, ooh, take the apple, dear. Take the apple, darling. Eat this. Oh, it's a wonderful, scrumptious, delicious little apple. You know? I mean, it was like really obvious, but that's probably only because the people that I hang out with are so authentic that I can see fake from a million miles away. And other people, they're used to everybody being fake. Plus, this whole community here is what I consider to be like a contained or controlled satanic community. They're almost all Satanists here. There are Satanists that work in the office over there. And I bet if the apartment manager were to wonder, I wonder this or I wonder that, you know, immediately somebody would come rushing up and be like, oh, no, that's just stupid. What a ridiculous idea. I've heard it. I've heard one of the maintenance guys talk like that. He immediately rushes in with kiboshing everything, like putting it, blah, 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 nope, 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 nope. That's ridiculous. Constantly, that's ridiculous. So I don't trust anybody who rushes right in and gaslights. That person is usually involved in the bad thing. There is a sweet maintenance guy. If you're watching, I really like you. I really like you. You're a sweetheart. So I trust that guy. He's like the only person that I trust in this whole place. So I'm just surmising right now, okay? I'm just saying, and I'm whispering because she's got the machine down there on idle. And she's about to blast me when this comes out, okay? I always get hurt really bad whenever I put something out. It's like her screaming. It's like her throwing a temper tantrum like a child. So I am doing this at the risk of all the pain that's about to come to me for sharing this with you. But it's because I have to. And when I was contemplating whether I should do it later or not, I open up my computer and the first thing I see on the screen is, you need to tell the truth right now. The truth needs to be told right now. And I thought, okay, I guess I'm supposed to say it right now. And I guess at least a portion of what I've said is the truth. So, take those devices off my fucking car so I can get some sleep. Or you're going to hear more of this surmising, okay? Somebody wicked like you who doesn't even think that, who thinks they can get away with it and keeps attacking somebody innocent like me, even when I'm going public to over 1,000 views on my shorts. If 1,000 people are watching just my little short snippets, that means 2,000 to 3,000 are watching the longer videos. So I guess my next step would be to create one of the longer videos about all this surmising. And again, my disclaimer is in the description of this video, and I have said several times, this is for entertainment purposes only. It's only surmising. It's only guessing. But somebody this wicked has done far more. And that's why God sent me here, is to blow the fuck out of this. Blow it up. Not with explosives like she was planning. Not with fire like she was planning. And this is where God always makes it backfire on them. The fucking truth is coming out. In every way. Now, if he would have stopped picking on me, and if he would have stopped torturing me, if he would have taken the devices off my car like I asked you very, very nicely to do, we wouldn't be here today talking about this right now. I would have surmised by myself and just wondered, like, One of the cats is playing with the string that's holding this phone up. Who is that? Of course, my most playful cat. I love that they play through everything. You could be in the biggest devastation. You could have like be in the scene from 9/11, right? In the shambles, in the ashes. And my cats would be like, is that a string? They're such a great example of how we really, really need to have a lot of laughter and joy in our lives, no matter what our situations look like, you know? We really need to, like, you know, always be humorous, always be laughing, even if we're laughing at the circumstances or at the people involved or whatever. Laughter is so healing, you guys. Anyway, take it with a grain of salt. It just makes sense to me, right? And they were about to ambush me the other night. God told me in the witching hours, which are, I guess, between 3 and 5-ish, you know, when they know everybody's asleep, right? He told me they're going to try to ambush you. And I was like, really? Okay. He's like, just so you know, a little heads up. Of course, I've got your back. Nothing will happen. And I said, all right. So I listened. I didn't put my earplugs in that night. And I was listening for anything. And sure enough, about 3:30 or 4, a set of events started happening. A carload of people came into the parking lot, all talking. You know, I don't know how many people. It sounded like 6 at least. And then they parked. And then all of the noise stopped and nobody got out of the car. And that was the first thing that made me sit up. Like, I didn't hear any car doors open and close for all those voices I heard talking in the car. Nothing happened. So I was like, this could be the ambush, right? Then the car next to me, the truck next to me, the white truck next to me that I got the license plate of and everything, okay? He starts up his car and goes over to the hotel door over there. And then this other guy is like getting things in or putting things in the truck, and he goes over and he does this. And I'm sitting there going, it's 4:15 in the morning. It's 4:15 in the morning. Why all of a sudden all this activity? And I think another car went by around that time or something too. So I knew something was up because that was way too much activity for that time in the morning. Then the person who was putting things in the back of the white truck went over to the dumpster that was on the other side of the fence from me. So it was in the back of a grocery store parking lot area. But there was like a dumpster back there. At least it sounded like, because I've always heard dumpsters getting fooled with. But this particular, you know, it sounded like the dumpster was right behind my car. And I was like, oh, is there a dumpster there, you know? So, and I had, the thought popped in my head, they'll drop a bomb in the dumpster, right? They'll drop a bomb in the dumpster. And I wonder who's helping with all these bombs, by the way. So the bomb gets dropped in the dumpster, boom, and they come out of nowhere, rah, doing whatever they're going to do to try to scare. Of course, they take a whole group to come up against one person, which makes them wimps and cowards in the first place, okay? If that many people have to come after one person, obviously the one person is the powerful one. You know, these guys get together and think that they're strong because they're in a group. That actually makes you weak, just so you know. Anyway, as I was leaving today, so what I did was basically, after I heard the person rummaging around in the dumpster, putting stuff in the dumpster, the bomb or whatever he was doing, I just kept asking God, okay, do I need to, God was like, whether you stay or go, I got your back. Like, nothing's going to happen to you. So I was like, the guy went back to the car, and it looked like they were kind of in that mode of like, okay, all right, let's rub our hands together and just wait for the time. Like there was going to be a time that it all happened or something. Like it was all synchronized. I don't know.